What is going on, everybody? It's KB. Before the episode starts, make sure you go check out StreamerSZN's brand new theme music. That's right. We have full-time, brand new theme music thanks to the newest homie and newest member of the music side of Underground Sports Philadelphia homies. That is Mobley. Stay Volk. His new single is out now. It is linked in the description on YouTube, and you'll be hearing it on audio until we can figure out if we can play it on video on StreamerSZN episodes from here on out. That's our new theme music. Stay Volk. Go download it now wherever you get your music, and go check out the music video on YouTube. But now, let's get into the episode of StreamerSZN. Just like our boy DK Harbor.
Yeah. Facts. So much Marvel shit to cover. I'm so excited. There's so much to talk about.
I'm so juiced.
I'm juiced.
I'm juiced, and I know you're full of maple syrup. What is going on, fellow streamers? Welcome into an exciting and massive episode of StreamerSZN, the exclusive streaming platform, TV and movie podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. If you're watching on YouTube, you saw a little preview of it, and if you're listening on audio, you heard it. Dylan, since the last time you recorded with us, we have new theme music. We have an official song that we are allowed to use. Shout out to Mobley. I saw him open up for Arkells back in May, and I was fascinated by him. New song out. Stay Volk is the official theme music of StreamerSZN. It's Mobley's new single. Go run that thing up on YouTube. Watch the music video. Get it wherever you get your music, because the music video, Dylan, he was filming in a warehouse with no air conditioning, 103-degree weather, dancing for 18 hours. Go watch it. It's an amazing music video. It involves TV screens, so it's a perfect fit for StreamerSZN. It's a banger of a song. So shout out to Mobley. Go get Stay Volk wherever you get your music, and go check out the music video on YouTube. Dylan's back from Canada.
Yeah.
Comic-Con 2022 happened. We watched our first movie that we're going to officially review on the pod for 2022, and of course we're going to get into everybody's favorite segment, the streaming platform Multiverse News and Notes, brought to you by those good peeps over at Pickup. But before we get started, make sure you're following us on the socials at StreamerSZN on Twitter and Instagram. We are 40 followers on Twitter away from the big 200, and we have our big giveaway on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Twitter. It's the pinned tweet at Underground PHI. We're giving away Wolverine number 22, the Brian Dawkins variant cover. Part of that is you got to follow StreamerSZN on Twitter, and you get a bonus entry if you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. So go check that out. There's about 1 full week left to enter that bad boy. Those comic books, the book we're giving, it's one of 3,000. There's only 3,000 of those covers in existence. You're going to be the proud owner of one of them. Plus, now that the mutants are alive and well in the MCU, who knows when Wolverine's going to be coming through. It's a perfect comic book to add to any Marvel fans collection, any X-Men or Mutants fans collection, any Eagles or Broncos fans collection out there. Go enter the giveaway. But follow us on the socials at StreamerSZN. Follow Dylan on Twitter at Dylan Mazzola. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Check out the website, undergroundsportsphiladelphia.com, for all of our written content. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. And Dylan, since you weren't here last week, I said the line. Now, I'll let you take the reins back on what is rightfully yours. What should the people be doing in those Apple Podcast reviews?
Well, they should be doing what I've been saying to do all this time. They should be leaving, obviously, the initial review, but in their review, they should be leaving Kyle and I suggestions on what to stream/watch next. Like I said, and like I've been saying, between the two of us, Kyle and I have access to, I'm almost positive, every single streaming service, unless there's some super underground one. And underground. But if there is, give it to us. No, but seriously, let us know what to watch, and we'll go from there. We have had some recommendations, so it's not me just yelling in the wind or yelling at the void or old man yells at cloud sky meme. people are giving us suggestions, whether it's via the reviews or it's through text, DMs, etc. And we don't really care how you reach out. It helps in the review, but either way, just let us know and leave those reviews.
And of course, subscribe
Yeah.
to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel as well, where you get full video episodes of StreamerSZN, and you get to see Dylan and I's beautiful faces and some TV screens every single week. And you can also leave your recommendations of shows, streaming platforms, and everything in the YouTube comment section. Smash the like button, click the bell icon, and of course, subscribe. We are 21 subscribers away from the big 200 subscribers on YouTube. Big thank you to our sponsors who make this show happen. Tomahawk Shades, the best small batch eyewear in the game. Go to tomahawkshades.com. Get your sunglasses, your blue light glasses. You should be wearing the blue light glasses when you're watching your favorite shows and movies. Let's be honest. You only get one set of eyes. You got to protect those bad boys. Get those prescription lenses for both your sunglasses and blue light glasses at tomahawkshades.com. And when you go to checkout, use code USP for 25% off your order at tomahawkshades.com. That's promo code USP at tomahawkshades.com for 25% off your entire order. Kenwood Beer, Dylan's favorite beer to indulge in when he gets off the plane from Canada. Go to kenwoodbeer.com and use that all new and improved Kenny tracker to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia area. You got to be 21 or older to do so. And of course, please drink responsibly. And the boys over at Bino, go to binoboard.com and use code BINHOUSP. That's BINHOUSP to get your hands on the next big tabletop game for your man cave, your she shed, your movie theater, your home theater. You should have a Bino board in there. It's football meets paper football meets foosball, and it's absolutely electric. It's the next big game coming to a tabletop near you. And who knows? I might be in Oklahoma for Bino Major sometime this fall. We'll see. But go to binoboard.com, BINHOBOARD.com, and use code BINHOUSP for 10% off your order at binoboard.com. Dylan, how is Canada?
Dude, it's so awesome up there. If you ever have a chance, anyone listening, Kyle, obviously you included, definitely go and check out Canada. I was in Alberta, so I was out west. If you're not familiar with Canada, Alberta is pretty far out west in terms of the United States geography. I'm essentially, well, not essentially, I am on the west coast out there. We toured some national parks, saw some amazing views, had some awesome beer. If you like beer, their beer is a little bit more percentage over there. It's weird filling up gas because it's in liters over there, not gallons. That messed me up. My mom was like, "Oh, go fill the car up," and I was like, "It's in liters." And then driving, it's kilometers. So I'm like, When I went back in America, I was accidentally speeding because I was used to kilometers, not miles per hour.
Siri, slow down. I don't like this.
The stereotypes are true about Canadians. They are very nice people.
Valid.
They helped me out several times, and they had patience. Where times, as you know, if you're listening and you're from America, there are times where our fellow citizen may not be as patient and forgiving, whereas the Canadian persons in question were super awesome. So Canada, 10 out of 10.
We love to see it, Dylan. And while you were in Canada, Kevin Feige and company were blowing up at Comic-Con 2022.
Yeah, you were texting me. You were like, "Did you see some of this stuff?" And I was like, "No, I've been in and out of service, losing mountains."
You were like, "I just got off the plane. What happened?" And I was sending you about like 18 different graphics, and you were like, "Oh my god, it's still going."
Yeah.
First time since 2019 that Marvel Studios has been in Hall H at Comic-Con. And Dylan, I was talking to DJ when he was here this weekend. He filled in for you on the last episode of StreamerSZN, so go check that out. We did kind of a Comic-Con preview. And I was like, we got to make our way to San Diego Comic-Con one year. That's got to be a bucket list for this show.
I've technically been there. I won't say I did much, but I was in San Diego for the summer. I remember. And I did technically go to Comic-Con. I went to a couple attractions on the outside. I wasn't able to get like a main ticket, but I was able to go at least walk and drive by it. It's so crowded. Like, and the cosplay was just crazy then, and this is almost 5 years ago. So I can only imagine how much it's elevated now.
Yeah, I feel like we've got to make it a thing eventually. Maybe in like the next like year or two, we map out when either New York Comic Con because it's much closer, San Diego Comic Con, or one of these big conventions, and we just we go and we do a big content weekend because I feel like it'd be huge for the brand.
Yeah,
Everything I saw from Twitter and everything, it was absolutely electric. Since the last time you've been on the pod, Deadpool 2, and Logan now officially streaming on Disney Plus. They had chimichanga trucks at Comic
it's
Con.
it's like they knew I was going to be not on my computer or phone, and they were like, "Now
We're gonna
release
do
the
this
Kraken."
all on Dylan. Kevin Feige and company though blew everybody away. We're gonna go, release by release, quick hit everything that got announced. Dylan and I are going to talk about some of our favorite projects coming to the MCU. The release dates, what we should expect from them. And of course, we're also going to dive into the stuff that is confirmed but did not get announced at Comic-Con, and when we feel it could get announced, cough, cough, September at D23, cough, cough. But Dylan, they kicked things off in the MCU panel on Saturday with the animation department. I believe it was Saturday. It was either Friday or Saturday. Saturday, kicked things off. We got our first look at I Am Groot, the animated shorts that are coming to Disney Plus August 10th, featuring our favorite little tree. It's going to be 5 episodes, 5 mini shorts, all released at once. So we'll be talking about that, obviously, the week of August 10th when that drops. It looks very, aesthetically and visually pleasing. The animation style is very, very unique and cool. I'm excited for I Am Groot.
I'm excited too. There's literally so many things that on my left. I have to pull up a list.
Like Captain America.
Yeah, on the left. Because there's so much announced, and that is something that looks exciting. It's cool. It's a different take. It's going to be something kid friendly too, so that's always cool. Because there are some Marvel things that aren't as kiddie friendly. So it's cool, and it's cool to explore the Groot character.
Knowing that we're getting these all at once and they're kind of shorts, something just popped in my head, and I wanted to pick your brain on right now. Do you think I Am Groot could be something that we get before some Marvel movie, similar to how Pixar does the Pixar shorts and goes into...
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. That could be
we kind of get a taste of it with all 5 original ones at first, and then moving forward after, once we see the perception for it, which I think will be huge because Groot's a beloved character. Do you think we could get I Am Groot shorts before every Marvel movie?
That you could get that, or maybe they're just paving the way to have shorts in general before their movies. Not necessarily only Groot, but going forward,
right.
Just that kind of style. That'd be cool because you'd be getting the price of 2 for 1 if you're a serious Marvel fan, and that also could be how they could low key introduce new comic book characters, throw a 5-minute, 2-minute, 4-minute, maybe 10-minute if they really want to do a longer one short in front of the movie. You know what I mean? As an ad, and then rather than have to always risk a character in a show or have them as a weird cameo that feels out of place in a movie, they could just kind of drag them along.
And James Gunn has been on the record saying that I Am Groot isn't necessarily canon to the MCU, but it's canon to itself. So I think there's going to be continuity within the I Am Groot shorts. That popped in my head just now. I was like, maybe that's their, version of a Pixar short is, I Am Groot. And like you said, they could expand it to different characters down the line if it gets perceived well. And they end up doing, I think that would be a genius move for James Gunn and all of Marvel to give us more Groot content.
Yeah, it's a pretty light character. I would not hate that as well. I'm trying to find a list of all the stuff.
I'm personally just looking at Marvel Studios' Instagram. They have the images for each one. So the next thing that kind of surprised us last year, Dylan, during, I think it was D23 when this got kind of announced, sort of, was Spider-Man freshman year. a Spider-Man property on Disney Plus. It's animated. We didn't know what to expect from it when we first saw it. We got kind of, everybody at Comic-Con got kind of a first look at, concept art and everything. And everyone was kind of told to view this show within a lens of what if. And the big what if of Spider-Man freshman year is, instead of Spider-Man, which will not be voiced by Tom Holland, it is a different voice actor, what if he met Norman Osborn instead of Tony Stark?
That's a good little... Yeah, because Norman Osborn's not exactly the nicest guy.
Yes.
I like that.
Because there was a concept art of Norman Osborn in the living room with Aunt May, Spider-Man, Peter Parker coming home and seeing that. That is going to be streaming in 2024 on Disney Plus, which we also got confirmed. It has been ordered for a second season, which will be Spider-Man's sophomore year. And
yes,
Daredevil will appear in Spider-Man freshman year, voiced by Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox is pulling out all the stops for Daredevil. He's coming back with vengeance, baby.
And he's going to be wearing the black suit in Spider-Man freshman year, which is very exciting, kind of a new look for Daredevil. And Kevin Feige has gone on the record saying as well that the main focus of the street level of the MCU is in the hands of Spider-Man and Daredevil now, which you and I are probably doing backflips over the moon for.
Well, those are two of the biggest MCU characters in terms of just even comic book fan sale, whatever you want to call it. So it's not a bad, definitely it's one of the best combinations to have. So you're right, backflips are being done. Although, I don't know how much longer we'll have a certain actor as Spider-Man if they go a certain route. aka Miles Morales. Basically, when or if we get rumors or more concrete evidence of a live action Miles Morales, R.I.P. Tom Holland. But either way, he's still Spider-Man. So the idea of Spider-Man and Daredevil, they go together. They're friends in the comics. I love it.
So that is Spider-Man freshman year. Like I said, it'll start streaming in 2024. Streaming early 2023, Dylan. So very, very soon.
Yes, sir.
Season 2 of What If.
Yes, I enjoyed that show. Some of the episodes were mid. Some of the episodes were very much electric, as we've discussed before in length. It's a cool show because it's just there's so many random possibilities that end up transpiring through the show.
And it's their way of bringing things into the live action MCU. I feel like What If is that gateway. Obviously, we saw Captain Carter in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Captain Carter, obviously, being in What If and kind of the main character, if you will, of What If so far. They did show an episode of What If Season 2, and it's What If Captain Carter fought the Hydra Stomper, which was kind of where What If Season 1 ended. We saw that Hydra Stomper on that boat. A Hydra-influenced Steve Rogers versus Captain Carter coming to a screen near you early 2023. And we also did get confirmed What If Season 3 will happen.
It's good. I'm glad. It's more experiences we're going to see because there's obviously quite a few one-offs in that series.
And I think one question you and I had and one question DJ and I had last week, will they incorporate Phase 4 characters into What If Season 2? They will be. Kate Bishop and Yelena Belova are confirmed to be in What If Season 2.
Awesome.
So that's exciting.
Maybe. Yeah.
They did talk about Marvel Zombies as well. I don't exactly know when that's starting to stream, but there is a rumor / confirmation out there that Marvel Zombies is going to be rated TVMA.
And it's going to be its own entity, right? It's not part of what...
Yeah, it's its own season. They showed a bunch of zombified characters. They showed a zombie Captain America with no legs. They showed a zombie Ghost, which I think is very intriguing. They showed a half-zombie Icarus from Eternals. Shang-Chi, Katie from Shang-Chi as well involved. Jimmy Woo in a superhero outfit, which was pretty wild. I think Marvel Zombies, you and I are going to be beyond giddy about.
It's nice to know that Jim Halpert survives the zombie apocalypse.
Glad to know he took control of Dunder Mifflin when it was under attack.
Where were you when we needed you the most? Yeah, no, that's good though.
So Marvel Zombies being TVMA, though, allegedly, I think is massive in...
Well, the comic line's pretty gory.
Yes.
So
and I feel like that also adds on to, like, when Netflix, lost the rights to the Defenders arc of what they had from Marvel TV.
Yeah.
And, the Disney Plus parental controls came into effect. I feel like this seems like Disney Plus is like kind of opening their eyes to being like, hey, we can incorporate a little bit more mature level content in the MCU. Not everything has to be for, kids ages 5 to 12.
I think that's definitely the way they're going, or hopefully going, because you can't just cater. Basically, you have to kind of grow with your audience. So, like, we've seen franchises and even like movie sequels kind of made for the intention of like you see it as a kid or a young adult, and then they make it so that said kind of like having the Obi-Wan series. All of us as kids watching Ewan McGregor in Star Wars and Hayden Christensen seeing them again in Obi-Wan is a treat to us. So some adults, when they watched it in the early 2000s, could care less. But like my point is, like us growing up with the main Marvel OGs and watching some of them die off or get written off, they're resetting it kind of, but there still are characters alive from our like the OG days. So you kind of have to split that median. You know what I mean? Like you can soft reset and build up for a new group of kids, but you have to then follow along because those kids are going to get older and they're going to want to watch their characters go. You know what I mean? So it's exciting, and I think that hopefully they do it that way because MA will encompass people as they get, like the audience as they get older and older audience in general.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's just it's a big step forward for Disney Plus as a platform to be like, okay, we don't have to be like massively kid friendly with some of our big properties. The next big announcement, Dylan, something
Yes.
you've been looking forward to
The Blade?
for a very long time. It is X-Men 97, an original series streaming fall 2023. Around this time next year, we'll be getting geared up for the Animated Mutants, picking up right where it left off when it ended in 1997. All of the original X-Men animated series is officially streaming on Disney Plus now, with continuity fixes within those first 5 seasons. Magneto looks unbelievable. They've added some new characters to the lineup. The animation style looks exactly the same as it did back in the 90s, just with a little bit of, modern day enhancement. X-Men 97, Dylan, I know you're super pumped for this. Plus, I know you're going to be pumped when I say this. A season 2 has been ordered and confirmed.
Well, yeah, because I just like X-Men. I think they were kind of screwed over in live action. They've had some bad movies and some good movies, but like when you think of superheroes via MCU or just real life movie like adaptations, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, Logan, one of the first people you think of when you see the word superhero come across your screen. And I think there's a reason for that. It's so iconic. So to get X-Men 97, which Kyle did the theme song, also iconic, to get that back is great. And I think we're hopefully going to get more X-Men content going forward.
Yeah, and I think the big thing, too, Miss Marvel obviously ended with Kamala Khan being confirmed as a mutant. Namor, we'll get into, the Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer later on in the show, but Namor coming to the MCU, that is the comics, that is Marvel's first mutant, technically, canonically.
Yeah.
So I think, with X-Men 97, similar to What If, it's their way of potentially ushering in new mutants and stuff like that to the live action MCU.
Bring out the dancing lobsters.
I'm excited, and I think because when X-Men 97, like the original X-Men animated series came out from 92 to 97, You and I were barely watching TV at that point.
I wasn't even alive for most of the runs.
Yeah, like
I
was
did watch
not.
the reruns on cartoons on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, so now that they're all fixed continuity wise and on Disney Plus, they're only about 20 minutes an episode too. So I'm probably going to dive down the rabbit hole eventually and binge all of that. So that's exciting. Dylan, we got a new trailer for She-Hulk Attorney at Law coming to Disney Plus August 17th, right around the corner. I personally have to say this trailer got me way more excited than the first trailer.
Yeah, it looked better than the first one.
We got more additions to the Marvel Wong universe.
Yes, sir.
Because Wong is confirmed for this bad boy. We got another look at Emil Blonsky and Abomination. And the trailer ended with everybody's favorite Defender, Daredevil, doing a front flip on the top of a building with a different looking suit, which is exciting because we all know how Daredevil Season 3 ended, where, Bullseye had the suit. So Daredevil needed a new one. He's got the batons and everything. Daredevil supremacy is coming to the MCU. I'm very excited for She-Hulk now. Like the first trailer, I was like, all right, this looks like pretty funny. Like it's supposed to be a courtroom comedy. This trailer got me stoked for us to be breaking down this show.
Yeah, it's insane. It's just really crazy to think, and it's awesome how popular Daredevil truly is. And I think it's showing because the internet seems pretty united in the terms of that we are very eager to get more Daredevil content. He's a fan favorite superhero, and I will gladly eat up any content you give me of Charlie Cox as Daredevil because Kyle and I have very much enjoyed covering that show.
Very excited. We're not done with Daredevil. But next up on the announcement...
There's more!
But wait, there's more. Next up on the announcement list, Dylan, is another show you and I are very pumped about that got a new logo rebrand once again.
Uh-oh.
Streaming Spring 2023, Secret Invasion.
Yeah. That's one. They teased that one for a while, too.
And they showed kind of a teaser / first look at it at Comic-Con. Everyone who tweeted about it said, this show looks dark. This is not the Nick Fury you remember. You and I are both stoked about this. And once, I think winter 2022 rolls around, you and I are going to be doing a lot of predictions of who we think are going to end up being Skrulls, who are going to be real. We're excited for Secret Invasion and hashtag SkrullWatch.
Yeah. It's gonna be cool to see like what characters are actually Skrulls and who and whatnot.
And now that the mutants are alive and well, a lot of people thinking Quake might be in Secret Invasion from the Inhumans.
I love it.
We got first look at the logo for your 2023 birthday present, Dylan. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming to theaters May 5th, 2023.
We've had this conversation. I usually get a good movie on my birthday or the day before.
You got some good ones coming over the next couple of years.
Just my history, dude.
Yeah.
I've had quite a few crazy bangers released on my birthday.
Marvel Studios' Echo, streaming summer 2023, will feature Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, Daredevil, and Kingpin in this show.
Vincent D'Onofrio. That's a man that I love to watch act.
Very excited for Echo. And then Dylan, this one I know you're very excited about. Loki Season 2, streaming summer 2023.
Yeah, to me, that's one of the best shows I've actually watched in life. Not even Marvel. I very much enjoyed that show. Can't wait.
And I believe Season 3 was confirmed as well, so got more Loki on the way.
They can do whatever they want in that show because they time travel. So
Yep. Got a date for a new one and a logo. This was teased at Comic-Con 2019. They brought our mans out on stage, and then the only thing we've heard from him is his voice at the end of Eternals. Blade in theaters November 3rd, 2023. Right around election season. We did it, Joe. We did it. We got Blade. Blade's coming to the big screen November 3rd, 2023.
That if you want to read about a darker like comic superhero, that's your guy.
Hello, Midnight Suns. We got our first look at this next character, which is one of the show's probably top 2, and it ain't 2 that I'm excited for most, simply because I own their first appearance comic book, Ironheart, streaming fall 2023. Got our first look at Riri Williams in the Wakanda Forever trailer, kind of paralleling Tony Stark in a cave with a box of scraps, smashing out the Ironheart. I am so excited for this show. Knowing her story from the comics and the ability of what they're going to be able to do with Riri Williams in the MCU, looking like her suit's going to be made out of vibranium, I'm pumped for Ironheart.
I mean, you can't go wrong with the new Iron Man Mark V, whatever she's going to call it, suit. I'm all for it.
Dylan, as we know, it was Agatha all along, and streaming winter 2023, the show formerly known as Agatha House of Harkness, is now Agatha Coven of Chaos, coming winter 2023. Another top 3 show that I am stoked about.
That one's going to be interesting. That one, I'll either very much enjoy that show or I probably won't like it. There'll be no middle ground.
I'm very pumped for more Catherine Hahn as Agatha Harkness, and I think Coven of Chaos gives us a bit of a look into that being multiple witches around. Hello, Elizabeth Olsen. Welcome back to your TV screens.
It could be even multiple Agathas with the way the MCU is.
Yes.
For all you know.
Dylan, 2024 is still a ways away, but your birthday gift that year, coming May 3rd, 2024, Captain America New World Order in theaters, May 3rd, 2024.
I like how I saw an article for that. They had to do something like a new actor will be playing Captain America. And it's like, wow, no shit. No shit.
Go back and listen to all of our Falcon Winter Soldier breakdowns and you'll find out who it is.
It's almost like they rid off other Captain America. Crazy.
I'm excited about this one to see Anthony Mackie in full-blown movie Captain America mode.
Well, see him as a full-blown lead, in a AAA, like a movie, like an action movie.
And I think we find out if Old Man Cap's on the moon or not.
I think he'll definitely be on there. They did that for a reason, whether it's going to be story-driven or maybe Chris Evans still wanted to keep his toes in the water. You know what I mean?
Because we did have that rumored project of him wanting to come back for 2 more Cap movies, and one of them being, him teaming up with Wolverine.
This fall, Captain America takes on the nursery home.
The next one, the one we got all types of giddy about. Marvel Studios' Daredevil, Born Again, an original series starring Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, streaming spring 2024 on Disney+.
So, I'm so excited about this one. I haven't even looked into it. Do you know, and tell the people listening, is it going to take off or take place after the show? What's it doing?
So, I think there's a lot of pieces to put together with this. Born Again, I think, is a play on, Daredevil coming back, obviously. Born Again on Disney+. It's a nice little middle finger to Netflix. There is the Daredevil Born Again run of the comics. And I have a theory for where it's placed on the release dates, that it is going to kind of play into what happened in Season 3, especially since Kingpin's going to be back. We all know how Season 3 ended with Bullseye on that operating table. Dylan, I don't know if you saw this, though. Daredevil Born Again, 18 episodes.
We riot!
We ride at dawn, brothers and sisters. Most episodes of any Disney Plus show, original content-wise, ever.
It's almost like they know that Daredevil's a good superhero, and they want to give him the quality that he deserves.
100%. Dylan, I'm gonna let you know. I think it is strategic of why Daredevil is coming out spring 2024 because hitting theaters July 26th, 2024 is my baby. The Thunderbolts movie coming to the big screen.
You've been preaching for that for a while as well.
Been talking about that since our boy Zemo came back.
And U.S. agent.
I think Bullseye has a good shot at being in the Thunderbolts.
All right, Tim, full hats on. All right,
Put them on. Hit the conspiracy theory music. Being that it's 18 episodes for Daredevil Born Again, it's street level. That's where we've seen Val mostly. Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character, obviously. I think she could go and recruit Bullseye to be part of her ragtag MCU Suicide Squad unit with U.S. Agent, with Yelena Belova, with potentially Agatha Harkness, with somebody like Ghost, with Abomination. I think Bullseye makes tons of sense to be in the Thunderbolts. We both agreed we love the actor who played Bullseye, so we want to see him back. And the Thunderbolts being on the big screen is massive. We just don't know who they're going to be going up against. Because Marvel's never really done a villain protagonist project, really, ever.
Yeah, no, it's true, and it's going to be interesting to see how they spin it. If they shield us, rather, and make them seem...
What if they sword us?
Yeah, I hope they don't shield us. I hope they make it like a TV mature, kind of, or close to mature, and actually let us enjoy like a bad guy's point of view. It's the same thing, which also this product's owned by Disney. It's the same thing with Star Wars. Like, I would kill to get like a Sith or a dark side of the like actual like view from a show or a movie standpoint. You could probably agree with that as well. So I want that. I want to experience that with Marvel, you know.
And especially, I think there's more of a possibility for it since it's a movie and not a show.
Exactly.
So I think that plays a big part. And obviously, we're going to see Zemo in the Thunderbolts as well. Dylan, hitting theaters November 8th, 2024, kicking off Phase 6 of the MCU. The Fantastic Four, which confirmed by Kevin Feige, will not be an origin story movie.
And they haven't confirmed the actors or actresses yet, correct?
Correct, although our good pal, Jim Halpert, John Krasinski, was on Jimmy Fallon last night, as we record this on Wednesday. He was on Tuesday night, playing around with the Marvel darts. Oh, Jimmy, I'm going to tell you. And trying to dance around the rumors that both he and his wife, Emily Blunt, will be Reed Richards and Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four.
I hope it's true. I've only been saying that for
we've been saying it forever. Even from before we started this podcast, we've been talking about John Krasinski being Mr. Fantastic, and I think it would be even better with Emily Blunt as Sue Storm.
Well, it makes sense to marry in real life. I hope they would have chemistry on screen.
And did you see the rumors, Dylan, that came out while you were in Canada of who is allegedly playing Ben Grimm in the Fantastic Four?
Is it The Rock?
It is not The Rock, but I think you will be very excited about this one. So there were rumors swirling around that one Jason Segel will be playing Ben Grimm, aka The Thing.
I could see that because it's a little more of a comedic role.
It's comedic. There's a little more CGI to it when he transforms into The Thing.
Yeah.
I'm here for it, and it's another member of the How I Met Your Mother cast in the MCU joining Colby Smulders.
That's true. It's just they're growing. They're growing.
So I would like, if that's that's 3 of your 4, John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, and Jason Segel, who would you want your Human Torch to be?
I think Zac Efron.
You think that's who they'll tab?
I think Zac Efron, unless they want to go a different route. I think Human Torch has to be a younger actor than the other 3. So
Yeah.
if you want to be kind of comic book accurate, so I'm assuming it's going to be a dude in like his early 30s, maybe 35 at the oldest, but like a young 35. You know what I mean? Like looks young. It's gonna be a younger guy. It could even be a guy in his 20s. You know what I mean? So that opens up the possibility for a lot of
Because I
people.
was thinking this, because I don't know if they'll do the fan theory cast for Miles Morales of uh, our boy Caleb McLaughlin, aka Lucas from Stranger Things,
Yeah,
simply because he is getting older. And I don't know when they want to start the Miles Morales origin in the live action MCU.
yeah,
I wouldn't hate seeing Lucas as, Caleb McLaughlin as the Human Torch.
yeah. If they want to, yeah, no, I wouldn't hate that either. I think he's a little too young. I think they should go with an actor who is already like I would say closer to my age or maybe a little bit younger, like 24. Just because the Human Torch, as we know, is like an arrogant.
Because
Uh,
Caleb McLaughlin, for reference, will be 21 this October.
all right, well maybe it depends.
So
I
by
guess.
2024, it'll be past his birthday. So he'll be like 24, 25 by the time the
I
movie
guess.
comes out.
I guess that you could, I guess I could see that then. It just has to be someone who doesn't look like a complete baby in the face,
Yeah.
but they also have to be old enough where they can play off like a doucher
Yeah.
essentially.
The next film is another birthday present for you, Dylan.
Oh my
The
god!
next big Avengers movie, Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, coming to theaters May 2nd, 2025.
It's the month of May. I get treated with a lot of movies, for me. I'm kidding.
Three years in a row for your birthday, Dylan, you will have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Captain America: New World Order, and Avengers: The Kang Dynasty.
Yes, sir. I'm very excited. I'm also very excited, people, because my family just got home and they brought my dinner. So I'm gonna go
Heyo.
grab that. Kyle, keep talking. Obviously, I'm not going to go anywhere. I just want everyone to know that I'm about to be chowing down on delicious Italian food. So be jealous.
And then the
Be
last
jealous.
project that they announced, Avengers: Secret Wars, in theaters November 7th, 2025. No directors announced for this one. There is a director announced for the Kang Dynasty, and it will be somebody familiar with the MCU, Dylan, and I'm sure you'll enjoy this a lot. It is the director from Shang-Chi.
I saw that, and I'm very excited that they went with that director because Shang-Chi is one of my favorite movies in recent years from Marvel. So
Destin
I
Daniel
like that.
Cretton is the
Nice.
director for the Kang Dynasty.
And I like the fighting in that movie.
The overwhelming speculation is that the Russo brothers will come back to direct Secret Wars and add that as like their trilogy of Marvel projects with the Avengers, which 100% down for that. I mean, Secret Wars is going to be massive. But those are the Marvel projects that were announced with dates, with everything at Comic-Con. And then, obviously, November 11th, 2022, we got our first trailer, our first look at Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which is arguably one of the most emotional trailers we've gotten for a movie in a very long time,
Super
obviously with the
emotional. I
passing of
teared up.
Chadwick. A lot of rumors swirling around about the way that the trailer was produced, especially that ending part, Dylan, when the music from Kendrick Lamar cuts from When I Wake Up and we get the claw of the new Black Panther suit. A lot of rumors swirling around that could be one Eric Killmonger in the Black Panther suit.
That's what I initially thought too, that he was going to be the new Killmonger. Jesus, he was already that the new Black Panther. I kind of wouldn't be mad about that because I personally still feel like he's not dead. Obviously, with the rumor. How do you feel about that?
I completely agree because remember all the way back in Black Panther 1, Killmonger was buried at sea. He wanted his body put out to sea. We're getting involved with the Atlanteans, with Namor. It obviously involves the ocean. I feel like part of the conflict could be that the Atlanteans found Killmonger's body, and we obviously saw to bring T'Challa back, they needed his body to feed him the heart-shaped herb and everything. You might need Killmonger's body to do the same thing, and that's their way to bring him back. And I think, T'Challa's mom, in her very passionate and from the soul speech that she gives in this trailer, she talks about how she is, the ruler of the most powerful, kingdom on Earth, and her entire family is gone. Well, yes, T'Chaka and T'Challa are gone, but where's Shuri? I think at that point, when she's giving that speech, Shuri might be, in the ancestral plane somehow, going and grabbing her cousin to bring him back to life.
Sorry about that, folks. I have successfully transferred, and Kyle, I do agree with you about that speech. A, was powerful, and B, I think she's also going to be in the planes because at some point she's going to have a much bigger role in Marvel. Well, yeah, we kind of know that, and I'm really just kind of excited. Well, I say excited, but obviously no one can replace Chadwick. But I'm happy they're not doing it a different way, if that makes sense. If they're going away, it seems fair to everyone.
I know there is a lot of debate online about whether Chadwick wanted T'Challa recast or not. Either way, I think this movie, it gave me chills watching the trailer. I think everything with Namor looks phenomenal. They are actually going to be switching a little bit of the continuity from the comics into the MCU, Dylan. So Namor will be the ruler of Talokan, I believe is how it's pronounced, instead of Atlantis in the MCU. Okay. And that connects Namor to more of an Aztec background, which I think is very cool. And we've seen that a lot in Phase 4 with a lot of the connections to the afterlife, a lot of connections to gods, especially for those of you who have seen Thor Love and Thunder trailers or the actual movie. Yet. Well, trailers or the actual movie. Yeah. We've obviously seen, all of that pantheon of gods in the trailers and everything. So it's a big centralized part of Phase 4. So I kind of like that. And it kind of gives the MCU a little bit more freedom to play around with the character of Namor, and they can kind of diverge from the comics a little bit.
Yeah, no, I hope you guys like watching a man eat Italian food if you're watching YouTube.
It's an Italian mukbang.
It's ASMR. No, so, yeah, no, I really don't mind when they change characters. We talked about this before. It's okay to take, some, liberties. And
yes.
Changing it to also fit, a reoccurring theme, of different, gods, pantheons, it makes sense. So if you're upset about that, which I've seen people upset, you're kind of missing the point, I guess.
100%. And now, Dylan, the 9 projects that we've gotten confirmed but were not announced at San Diego Comic-Con 2022 are the following: Deadpool 3, which we know is currently being written and worked on. Yes. And you and I are very excited about that one.
Of course.
There's the Untitled sequel for Shang-Chi.
Also excited about that.
Untitled Halloween special, which everybody and their mother knows is going to be Werewolf by Night. Yes. Spider-Man 4. Armor Wars. We did not get anything on at Comic-Con.
That was going to be the show with John, what's his face? Don Cheadle, right?
Yes. And what we assume will be the Power Broker as well. Whether that's Sharon Carter or Kingpin, John Bernthal, who I believe has been confirmed for Daredevil Born Again.
Yes!
We also did not get any news on the Untitled Wakanda series that we talked about, I think, last year. There's an Okoye series that has been confirmed, but we don't know if that's also the Wakanda series, if those are the same thing or not.
Yeah, if they overlap.
Wonder Man, obviously a relatively new announcement that's been confirmed that will also be directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, and then Nova. We didn't get anything on as well, but that is confirmed.
Nova's a movie or is it a show?
I believe it's a movie. I could be wrong. I just know that they're doing something with Nova.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
80% of the time it works every time.
That was going to be my quote in the yearbook, but they changed it. Now I have some Matthew Wilder inspirational quote. It wasn't me.
So those 9 projects, we didn't really get anything on, but you and I are both of the belief that I think with Deadpool 3, Shang-Chi sequel movie, Halloween special, Armor Wars, either of the Wakanda projects, whether it's the Untitled series or Okoye, Wonder Man Nova, we could all get some sort of stuff on that at D23
It's a pretty good list of
in September.
of movies or shows they haven't they claimed but haven't shown us yet. That's a pretty
Yeah.
decent little list right there.
And obviously Spider-Man 4 is a Sony type thing, so we don't know what that will be, but
The anime. No, I'm kidding.
the other projects I feel like we'll get some sort of idea on at D23. The only other things we didn't really get announcements on are any other X-Men/mutant stuff outside of X-Men 97. We didn't get anything on Young Avengers, which a lot of people are speculating they might be who the Thunderbolts are going up against.
Ooh.
Which would be very fun, because that combines a big-time double whammy of brand for this podcast.
That makes sense. And in the comic, it makes sense because if Thunderbolts won, per se, right? Or maybe they were getting challenged. It makes sense because if the Thunderbolts step in and basically act as the Avengers for a little bit. And some of them even go as far as, you can hear my dog in the background, Jesus. This Miller is always trying to steal the show. Some of them even go as, like Zemo, I forget what his alias is, but Zemo disguises himself as a superhero just to gain attention from the people. So my point is, you never know with that.
Yes. So that was San Diego Comic-Con from a Marvel perspective, which is something we massively talk about on this show, obviously. Dylan, of the projects that were announced before we move on to our Gray Man review, I'll list them off again so we have them fresh in our brain. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which they also gave a look at Comic-Con. That is the first part of Phase 5.
There's that guy. Our theory, they just randomly interject so we don't forget about him.
That starts Phase 5. Also, for the people at home, too, Wakanda Forever ends Phase 4. So Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, Secret Invasion, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Echo, Loki Season 2, The Marvels, which comes out July 28th, 2023, Blade,
Yes.
Ironheart, Agatha Coven of Chaos, Daredevil Born Again, Captain America New World Order, Thunderbolts, She-Hulk, X-Men 97, Marvel Zombies, What If Season 2, Spider-Man Freshman Year, and I Am Groot. What would you say your top 3 projects that you are most excited about are?
I got you. And no, I was actually just thinking, when you were naming those, I was like, holy crap. I had like two to four, way too much. So you said 3, and I was like, perfect. So Guardians of the Galaxy, my birthday, Blade, and Loki.
I think mine will go. Obviously, I gotta go Thunderbolts. That's my bread and butter right there.
That was my 4, arguably. That was up there.
I think Daredevil Born Again is in there for me. And then it's kind of a toss-up between the emotional connection I have for Ironheart, knowing the comics so well, and Agatha Coven of Chaos. Because I think the title switch-up has my brain running a million miles a minute from House of Harkness.
There's many more magic users.
Right. So I think that switches like the mindset of that show for me. I'm always going to be pumped for Loki. I think what they did with season 1 is incredible, and seeing like the set shots we've gotten so far from season 2, like they're in front of a McDonald's, for crying out loud.
I know. Where they're gonna crash Michael Keaton's The Founder movie.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. My name is Loki.
I'm gonna take your order.
I mean, I think Comic-Con put in perspective where the MCU is heading. And I think you and I, who are very deep into the lore and everything of the comics and the shows and movies, kind of had an idea. But now that it's laid out there for our eyeballs to see,
yes, sir,
we are in the roller coaster, ready to go.
No, yeah, it's exciting. I hope we get similar to Thanos. I hope Kang's the big bad, but I hope we get an even bigger bad in terms of like Galactus or something going forward.
I think it's gonna be Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom as well. I was going to add him. I was going to say that one of those two. Kang will be a placeholder, and no knock to him. It's just
I think I think both of them are kind of gonna run rampant. I don't think we're gonna see Doctor Doom really pop up until later 2023. Leading into like Fantastic Four and then Secret Wars. Kang, I think, is going to have Phase 5 on his back, and we're going to see Kang throughout damn near all of these projects.
Well, the cool thing about Kang is, right, you can have a movie, and you and I, as the lead protagonist, can kill him, so to speak, and it doesn't matter because there's an infinite amount of him that knows how to traverse the universe.
Until you get to one Nathaniel Richards in the year 3031 or whatever it is, and find the source. Find the source. But yeah, I think, Kevin Feige on the record saying there's nobody else he'd want, with the MCU on their back than Jonathan Majors. So I'm excited. And you and I both, when we saw him in Loki, were blown away. One, from not expecting him to show up so soon, and two, just the performance he put on as He Who Remains / Kang. So Phase 5 and Phase 6 are coming. Phase 6 is still very much wide open as well.
Yeah, I can't wait. I was kind of complaining about Marvel before we left. Rightfully so. The CGI has taken a dip, and but it seems like they have this next phase or phases planned out relatively spaced apart. So as long as they stick to that, don't rush things, and maybe give the CGI people a raise. I don't know. You're a $1 billion company. I'm all back aboard as of now. I'm on the roller coaster of the train.
Very excited for the direction the MCU is going. We're going to now review Netflix's new movie, The Gray Man. But before we get into it, I do want to let the people know, Dylan, I saw Nope this weekend.
Oh, how was that?
It was fantastic. Jordan Peele is a genius. I loved his first movie was Get Out, right? Yes, it was Get Out, then Us, and then
I didn't like Us as much. I like Get Out. Us was kind of like.
I haven't seen. Oddly enough, I haven't seen Get Out. I have to watch that still. I don't know why I haven't seen it, but I did see Us, and I really liked Us. I think Lupita was a rock star in Us. Nope. Don't for the people at home, no spoilers. Just don't go into that movie thinking that because it's Jordan Peele, it's going to be a horror film. There's horror elements and scary shit in it, but I wouldn't classify it really as a horror film. So don't go into it.
I was looking at it more like a dark comedy.
There's definitely some funny moments in it. I went with DJ when he was here, and there were moments where we were the only ones in the theater laughing. But there's some quick hit one-liners that are what the fuck? It really blew my mind because it was everything in that movie I was not expecting at all, and I loved that about it. Keke Palmer was fantastic. Daniel Kaluuya is one of my favorite actors of all time. He continues to dazzle. I'm just bummed that Daniel Kaluuya won't be in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever because
he's gonna be conflicted. On Barney, though.
Yup. But yeah, Nope was fantastic. Go see it if you haven't. Really, really awesome installment in the Jordan Peele universe of movies. But Dylan, let's get into The Gray Man on Netflix. Dropped this weekend. Spy movie. CIA. When the CIA's top asset, his identity known to no one, uncovers agency secrets. He triggers a global hunt by assassins set loose by his ex-colleague, starring Ryan Gosling, Ana de Armas, Chris Evans, Regé-Jean Page, Julia Butters, Danush, the whole 9 yards.
Just playing. It's a cool name to say. No, it was an interesting movie. I'll say the action was pretty good, but
directed by the Russo brothers as well.
The plot, I spilled the sauce on me, by the way, folks. A tactical error was made. No, I just think the plot was a little all over the place. The jumping around was probably the biggest bugaboo.
It is a movie that you really have to be locked in for.
Yeah.
It is, like Dylan said, it jumps around a lot from like different locations, which they do a good job of showing you where they're going because it pops up on the screen every single time.
Physically you see where you're going, but like contextually, like plot wise, you're like, whoa, and turning around.
Yeah, it was tough to really like conceptualize how much jumping around was really going on. I personally really enjoyed the big three in this movie and how they were cast. Seeing Chris Evans in a different light was very, very fun as kind of the douchebag quote unquote villain.
Yeah, definitely villain in that.
Ryan Gosling I thought was sensational. His character was really, really well done. And I thought Ana de Armas was really great too. And I think Julia Butters was fantastic as well as the younger kid. Overall, I mean, for a Netflix movie, it's right now sitting at Netflix's second most popular movie of 2022. It had a $200 million budget, so I think visually wise and action wise, it lived up, if not surpassed that budget. The only movies that beat The Gray Man are Red Notice and The Adam Project so far on Netflix. So it's doing really well on Netflix, which you and I both have said they need to put out stuff like this.
They have to do more banger OG content, or else they're going to fall behind.
And I think this is a movie that you might need multiple watches for just to really conceptualize the plot. Like Dylan and I said, it jumps around a lot, so you have to be like locked in. And that's not just through Windows. But I think the acting was really good. Like it wasn't like kind of like a hokey type of movie. Like I think the acting was pretty well done for the most part. I think the action and the fight sequences and the explosions and that kind of stuff was really good. You brought up a point though, Dylan, that like if you're a spy CIA type operative movie, you got to really stand out. Since it's not really like a niche thing anymore with the types of James Bonds,
Mission Impossible,
stuff like that that's out there.
The Jack Reacher series had several actors reprise that role.
I think this movie did a good job plot wise of kind of separating from that a bit. I think the actors were great selections for the roles. It's also based on a book, so take that into consideration when you watch it.
Source material.
There is a book that had source material for it. I think the Russo brothers, almost anything they touch is gold. But like you and I said, I think the biggest thing is the jumping around really is tough to follow since it is so much. Like we've watched stuff that's jumped around a bunch. Across the board. And, there's some that's good, there's some that's bad. I don't think it was necessarily bad. It was just a lot to handle when you go into watching something for the first time and don't really expect that.
Yeah, and it's usually spy movies either do one of two things. They come off as like an action movie, and it's just you plug in, you sit down, you watch, you leave, game over. Or it's like the Mission Impossible trope early on. Like it's more detective-y, like betrayal, backstabbing. This one plays more on the straight action. There's plot, obviously, like Kyle said, but the plot's not... In itself, the plot's not too confusing. It just physically changes locations, and it doesn't do a good enough job visually representing that in terms of like... Or balancing, I guess, the balancing for me.
But there's a review on Rotten Tomatoes that I think takes a bit of how we're feeling from Dark Sky Lady on Rotten Tomatoes.
Thank you, Dark Sky Lady.
They go on to say here, full review is available as well, but it says, the film's misplaced weak dialogue. I don't know if the dialogue was weak per se. Combined with too many jump cuts for action sequences, makes the Gray Man feel like a generic cross between the Marvel Universe and John Wick. Well, when you're dealing with the Russo brothers, who their biggest claim to fame are the two biggest Marvel movies / movies of all time, you're going to get some Marvel in there. they'll go on to say that is not to say the film is horrible, but it's not good. I also wouldn't say that it's not good. I think it's an enjoyable movie to watch. I would say it's not great. Like, it's not like gonna blow you away. It's not gonna win Best Picture Oscar. But I think it's a very good movie.
So I'm giving it literally, to put that into terms, because if you're watching the show, you've hopefully listened to Kyle and I and watched this. So in scale of 1 to 10, right? Me personally, I'm not giving it like a high score. I'm not giving it, like Kyle said, I'm not giving it like a 1 or 2. Because for me, if you rate a movie, right, a 1, 2, or 3 means it is literal dog shit. Like, that's like so bad. And a 4 and a 5 still pretty bad. And like a 5, like if you give a movie a 5, that's saying it's bad and not watchable. So to me, a 6 and up is like the lowest, going the highest you can go to say to an audience, like, this movie was like dietable. It's good enough to sit down and watch like once through. You're not going to get up and like leave disgusted. You might not. So that's why for me, I'm giving it like a 6.1, 6.2. Was it great? No. Was it enjoyable as an action film? Yes. That's where I stand as a film. That's no knock to any of the actors.
It's a big, like, guys being dudes type of movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like watching the Mortal Kombat movie. I knew it wasn't a good movie. I wanted to see people get their like heads ripped off.
Which DJ and I talked about it last week. Mortal Kombat is getting a sequel.
There you go. It did really well.
6.2, your official score for The Gray Man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And now everybody also has to know, this is the first movie we've done for 2022 on our ranking scale. Movie and show rankings are a little bit different. So 6.2 movie for Dylan is going to be different than if he gave a show a 6.2.
And I might like it more when I watch it again. Like Kyle said, this is a movie that you might have to watch more than once because quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I think we might have, if we watch it again, a redo of our rating, simply because we went into this movie not knowing what to expect. And now that we know what to expect, we can kind of get a more justified ranking for it. I enjoy it. Like I said, I think Ryan Gosling was really good in this movie. I thought Chris Evans as a villain was very interesting and a fun perspective for him as an actor. So I enjoyed that a lot. And I thought Ana de Armas' character was really, really fun as well. I like the old man as well that Ryan Gosling was connected to.
That's Billy Bob Thornton, right? That's his name?
I think so, yeah. So, I mean, I enjoyed it. I think, like we said, there's a lot of jumping around that makes it kind of difficult to follow. But for the most part, very enjoyable. I'm going to give this bad boy a 7.3 out of 10. Which, like I said, movie-wise, show-wise, very different. A 7.3 movie is pretty damn good. A 6.2 movie is still pretty damn good. Yeah, I think anything that falls below that 50% threshold for a movie is when you start questioning, like, what did we just watch? And for a show, I think if it falls below the 70%, it's like, is it worth watching? So very different scale, but 7.3 plus a 6.2, divide that bad boy by 2, gives it a 6.8 out of 10.
Oh,
which
so close.
Almost nice. But I think a 6.8 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes or anything, people are still going to be like, oh, I'm going to, take a Saturday, not doing anything, I'll pop this on. So I think very good. And I think on next view around, Dylan and I might get to the point where this movie reaches like a mid-7.
Yeah, I might not get to 7, but I guarantee you I'll probably bump it up to at least like a 6.4, 6.5 because I'll actually understand what's going on.
Yeah. So The Gray Man, overall, we both agree. Definitely worth watching.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it a lot.
I would say definitely put it on once. You have to see if you like it, kind of thing.
Yeah, if you're into the spy, CIA, thriller type stuff, you'll really enjoy it. Which is typically not my cup of tea movie either. That's not what I like.
Only dabble
go
with
towards
Mr. Bond for spies because it's just so cliche. Other than that, I agree.
I enjoyed it for what it was, and I'm excited to watch it again to kind of go in full perspective mode and be like, okay, this is what I'm watching.
I'll watch it again for Ana de Armas.
And now, Dylan, let's get into everybody's favorite segment. It is the streaming platform Multiverse News and Notes, brought to you by those good peeps, our homies over at Pickup. You guys can go to playpickup.com, start playing the hottest headlines in sports, rack up points on your fan profiles, cash them in for prizes on the Pickup Marketplace. That's playpickup.com. Dylan, you brought up Star Wars earlier and how you wanted to see some different perspectives on things. Well, Lucasfilm has reportedly trademarked 3 titles for Star Wars projects.
Wait, really? Like, what happened today?
Yes, this happened about an hour ago.
What are the odds of me saying that?
Are you ready for these 3 titles?
Go for it.
The Galactic Circle, The Great Circle,
Those are what?
and Circle of Resistance.
What the fuck's up with circles? I am happy. Don't anyone listening? I'm being somewhat facetious, but like, why do they all have circle in the name?
It's a circle.
You gotta draw it so the man bear, the sea pig or sea bear doesn't get you.
And then the fourth one will be the Circle of Life, featuring Simba with a lightsaber.
Oh my god! I thought there actually was a fourth one called Circle, and that's great.
And you can also go watch The Circle on Netflix.
Oh man.
Dylan, Miss Minutes is confirmed to return in Loki Season 2. Quote from the lovely and amazing Tara Strong. She's in it. I know that.
I think you had to have her again because, like...
Howdy, partner.
She's a legend in her own self.
And we both agree that we think Miss Minutes might be a Kang variant.
Yeah, she has to be something, dude. She's too creepy to be, like, just there.
Yes. You're gonna love this because we love when we find out that superstars are #online. Miss Marvel star Iman Vellani says she uses burner accounts to argue with fans.
No way.
Quote, I'm like, you don't even know what's coming, man. You're so wrong. It's so liberating.
I think more celebrities have burners than they realize.
It's amazing.
I'm kind of here for it. Now, like, next time I, like, read someone defending something that I don't like, I'm like, this could be that very person in that project I don't like.
Hey, Dylan, are you excited for this next announcement, Dylan? Hey, Dylan, Season 6 of Rick and Morty premieres September 4th, Dylan.
That wasn't that bad, Kyle. Oh, jeez. I can't do that voice.
Oh, Rick.
Oh, jeez, Rick. Dude, the episode... You've watched all Rick and Morty, right?
I have not.
Oh, my God.
I've like, watched it when it comes on like, Cartoon Network and everything, but I've never watched it, like, start to finish.
Okay, so... my favorite episode, and anyone listening, you'll know.
But I have been playing Rick and Morty in D&D. Started my campaign.
Oh, how is that?
It's very fun. Very, very fun. We've recorded both sessions, so they will be turned into...
Who are you playing with it?
So it is myself, Kendall Bryant, who is my boss from Buna's daughter, Cara Bermudez, friend of the program, and was also in Buna's theater department, Sarah Santiago, another Buna Drama Club alum, and Sarah's partner, Sam, who is our dungeon master, and they have done a fantastic job as the DM.
So are you the only noob there as the DM?
There are 3 noobs.
That's awesome, Kyle.
It's fantastic.
I'm getting so excited I'm not even chewing first before I talk. But seriously, I'm glad for you.
So what's your favorite episode of Rick and Morty, Dylan?
I can't describe it in length because we'll get flagged for so many things. But okay, so it's Morty. Morty is a teenage boy. Remember how you felt when you were a teenage boy. I'll leave it at that. His mom works for horses. Like, not for horses, she's a horse doctor. There's a machine that helps ease and alleviate, I guess, a horse's stress and also to breed horses like you do in real life. And Morty sees that machine and his eyes go like this. And it cuts to him on top of his roof, and he's like drinking like sangria, probably like juice, and he's like, "Ooh, Morty, you're a dirty dog. You're a sleazeball." And yeah, you can imply what happens, but then Rick uses horse stuff to help his ingredients, not knowing that Morty contributed to that, and then everything goes wrong.
I think I have seen that episode now that like you've described it.
And it's incredibly funny and stupid. Love it.
Releasing in December, Dylan, on Netflix, we got the first trailer of Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, starring Gregory Mann, Ewan McGregor, Finn Wolfhard, Kate Blanchett, Tilda Swinton, and John Turturro.
I'm just gonna say it, dude. That like Pinocchio looks low-key frightening.
Very scary. I love the cast though, loaded cast, which is exciting. Let's see what else we have here.
I just realized I'm eating my salad after I ate my pasta and chicken, so I don't know if that's the proper way to do it. If you want to judge me accordingly, roast me in the comments.
Extraction 2 releases on Netflix in 2023.
That's the Hemsworth one, correct?
Yes.
I have not watched that yet.
Let's see here. Quote from Ashton Kutcher on returning for #that90show. We're only in the position that we're in because of that show. We just went back and had fun for a week. It was so random and fun.
How long is that show? What did they say?
I'm not sure. I know it's going to be on Netflix, but it's the entire original cast outside of Hyde for obvious reasons.
Yeah, we don't talk about that guy.
Let's see here. Pedro Pascal on The Mandalorian Season 3, Dylan. Quote, if he is stepping into a leadership role, he's reluctant to do so. I don't think there's anything more interesting than a character being forced into discovering what they're capable of. There's so many searchable ways to find the tonality of that. I just tried to achieve the subtleties of that kind of character development.
That's actually a really good way to put it, because think about that. What Pedro just described for Din Djarin, his character, so many epic tales, and I use the word both like in terms of the description and like in terms of describing a story. How many, like countless things, Kyle, are like that, you know? The people finding who they really are, whether it's for the good or the bad of everyone else around them. That's to be determined, but it's very interesting, and it's a tale that always works, and I'm very excited to watch that again.
Dylan, Joseph Quinn made his Late Night with Jimmy Fallon debut. I recorded it. I still have to watch it. But
I saw he got detained.
That's what I was going to bring up. Joseph Quinn was detained by U.S. Immigration until an officer recognized he played Eddie Munson in Stranger Things Season 4. Quote, one of his colleagues looked over at him, looked at me, and said, leave Eddie alone. The man asked, do you come back next season? I was like, I don't know. And he said, you better, and gave me my passport.
It was all an elaborate ruse. That Border Patrol agent, the Customs agent, really just wanted to know. He's one of us, folks.
Dylan, we just did our Gray Man review. A sequel is in development with Ryan Gosling reprising his role. The Russo brothers will direct, and a spin-off is also in the works from the Deadpool writers. So they're building the Gray Man cinematic universe.
That's something I want to talk about briefly. You might agree or disagree. Not everything needs its own.
I was thinking the same thing when I saw this news.
God, thank you.
I was thinking the same exact thing.
Not everything needs it. You can have 5, 3, 2 movies, and it's not technically universe. It could be a storyline that's being like The Godfather. There's no fucking part of my French. I said the word.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. There's no Godfather universe. It's a 3-part movie about the life of criminals.
Right.
And a lot of them die because you die in the criminal world and you die in real life. You know what I mean? It's a movie. Bada bing, bada boom.
Mr. Worldwide when I step in the room. I don't know how you're going to feel about this next piece of news, Dylan, because I don't know if you had, dabbled in these books when we were younger. There is a live-action TV series in development at Disney+.
Stop. If you say, I forget what the name of the book's called, but it has a fucking blue dragon on the front, and that was cool. That was cool stuff. I cursed twice. I'm sorry, folks.
A live-action Aragon TV series is in development at Disney+.
Let's go!
Aragon creator Christopher Paolini will serve as co-writer and co-showrunner. They're searching for someone to work alongside him, as Paolini has never written for television before.
Making that into a movie, though?
I think they were, and then it
There
like
was
got
a movie,
scrapped, or maybe it was a movie and it just didn't do well. And
then
I don't
they
know if
added
Paolini was like on the like production team.
quite a lot of the movies or books that I read as a young child, adult, were made into terrible movies. Like the Alex Rider series, it's like a spy book. They made that into a movie. Sucked. What was the movie about the author whose like book came to life? Like Inkheart, right?
Yeah.
Inkheart? That I read that series. Movie
They did the
was
Artemis
terrible.
Fowl thing a couple years ago on Disney Plus. We'll see.
Yeah.
Dragons are fun. Dylan, this is a bit of sad news. Breaking Bad is leaving Netflix on February 10th, 2025. Get your binging in, folks.
That's like mad far from now.
I feel like it's going to go to HBO Max.
For sure.
NCIS and New Girl are also among the shows leaving the platform over the next few years.
Oh, I like New Girl.
You'll like this. We dabble in the video game realm if it makes sense a bit. Not going to dive into the Star Wars stuff this week because it's a whole mess. You know, the High Republic game got delayed until further notice. But we are getting a Black Panther single-player open-world game that is in development at EA, Dylan.
That's really cool. I didn't even know that.
The story follows the player character assuming the mantle of Black Panther after the hero's passing.
Wonder what other heroes will be on there.
Let's see here. The next bit.
I like that though. I would like a Daredevil video game.
Game of Thrones in 4K is coming to HBO Max in August.
Hell yeah. I'm so excited to watch the first 6 seasons.
Brandon Perea, wants to join the MCU, specifically as Sam Alexander / Nova. Quote, I need to be there.
Should I know who this actor is?
He is actually in Nope. He's one of the characters in Nope. I really liked his character a lot. I'm going to see what else he's been in.
I'm going to Google this, man. Is it Brandon Perea?
Perea, Perea. He has also been in the OA, Dance Camp, and
he's a pretty boy actor. That's why.
And he's relatively new. He's 27 years old.
Yo, my man's yoked.
Said, I hope my performance in Nope movie proves that I can play a Marvel superhero. That's what I want in my career, 100%.
Good for him. He looks like he's already in shape.
After landing the Nope role, Jordan Peele gave him a list of films to watch, including Jaws, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Alien, and No Country for Old Men. Quote, I was like, that's a weird mixture of movies, my man, but I'll watch them and see what's up.
Dude, No Country for Old Men is probably my top 10 movies of all time list. So, that's awesome.
Let's see here.
The movie is incredible. If you haven't watched that yet, put that on your list of things to watch. Incredible.
Yes, 100% agree. Reggae John Page joined the cast for Secret Invasion. Just saw him in The Gray Man as well. Marvel Studios says a previous cast list incorrectly also included Reggae John Page, so I don't know if he's actually in it or not.
Never mind. I take my clap back.
Kevin Feige, after hearing Ryan Gosling wants to play Ghost Rider, Dylan, Ryan's amazing. I would love to find a place for him in the MCU.
Ooh, Ryan. Maybe the only reason Ryan took on the spy movie franchise so he could be in Marvel.
That would be interesting.
It's funny how some actors and directors are like literally dying to get in MCU, and then you have the Scracies that are like,
I don't know if we've talked about this or if you knew this, Dylan. The High Evolutionary for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will be played by Chukwudi Iwuji from Peacemaker.
That's awesome. I didn't know that either. That's cool.
Apparently, Baby Rocket Raccoon will appear in Guardians Volume 3.
Say that 10 times fast.
Maria Bakalova will be Cosmo the Space Dog in Guardians Volume 3.
Good for her.
And we have... MODOK is confirmed to appear in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Really? Did they say who's playing him?
There's rumors that the one guy who got, like, messed up in Ant-Man and the Wasp, I believe it was, that when he goes to the quantum
Walter Goggins?
Yeah, that he's going to be MODOK.
The criminal guy, right?
Yeah.
MODOK's really smart, though, right? The guy wasn't that smart. Who knows? Maybe he is.
Let's see here. Anything else outside of all the Marvel stuff we already talked about?
Well, there's no DC news because they can't control Ezra Miller. Too soon, or...
Elizabeth Olsen will voice the Scarlet Witch in What If Season 2.
Awesome.
We got a John Wick 4 trailer.
Awesome. I'm guilty pleasure. I like watching that series.
They also confirmed that the What If team says Captain Carter from Multiverse of Madness isn't the same one from their show.
Love it.
They said our Captain Carter would have kicked Wanda's ass.
Oh, okay. Was not expecting that next to be the follow-up.
House of the Dragon showrunner Ryan Condal says there are 17 dragons in the series.
That's someone's job. They probably were like 1, 2, 3. What's after 3? 4.
This has me excited for Black Adam, Dylan. Viola Davis will return as Amanda Waller for Black Adam.
Good, because I hate that character, which means the actor is doing a great job.
Yes.
Literally, if like I had Mount Rushmore of like comic book, live action, whatever characters I hate, it's Amanda Waller like at the top.
Yes. We talked about this a little bit earlier with Marvel Zombies. The characters that will appear in the show it includes Ghost, Abomination, Captain Marvel, Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, Okoye, and Captain America.
They're
Kate Bishop. Yeah, they're all the zombies. And then Kate Bishop, Yelena Belova, Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel, and Jimmy Woo are your good guys, your protagonists. That will be releasing in 2024. And then Icarus will be half zombie in Marvel Zombies.
It's an interesting group of survivors because it's not the most powerful combination they could have went for. Like, nothing against Yelena. At the end of the day, she's not a god like some of the other MCU characters, and she doesn't have super serum in her.
Yes.
And Wong has no superpowers, but he is able to lead a team and do magic tricks. So, actually, yeah, he's magic, I guess, technically, if you want to. So the real heavy hitters of that will just be Miss Marvel and Shang-Chi. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Dylan, I don't know your excitement level for this next bit, but Balrog is back for Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
Interesting.
We did get a new trailer for that as well.
I'm like so scared about that in the Game of Thrones shows. Both of those are like literally give me cold sweats because they're either gonna be don't laugh. They're either gonna be so good or so crap.
The new Multiverses game, basically Warner Brothers version of Super Smash Brothers, has arrived.
My brain, I just started downloading that. I just clicked on download on my
Did you
Steam.
see the new characters that will be coming during Season 1 of the game, Dylan?
No.
So Rick and Morty will be playable characters in the game.
Wait, my game's done. Here, just keep going. I can see firsthand.
And LeBron James is being added to Multiverses. Has been added as of yesterday, July 26th. LeBron James is in the game from Space Jam.
So basically, when I beat someone's ass in the game, I can go, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James,
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
And then, Dylan, we're also getting in theaters March 3rd, 2023, Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, a D&D movie.
Chris Pine's gonna be in it.
Chris Pine, Reggae John Page, Hugh Grant, Michelle Rodriguez, and Sophia Lillis, all starring in the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Unfortunately, and you're gonna laugh, you'll probably agree, we don't want that movie to bomb in the box office. People does not mean it's gonna necessarily suck, but I do think it's gonna not gross what it spends. I just don't see enough people going to see that. I think D&D has gotten big. I just don't know how well. It's not going to gross, like,
I think it might do more than you think.
I hope I'm
in
wrong.
The U.S. because of Stranger Things.
True, but like it might not be one of those movies that like other countries, if it gets released in China or like Russia, etc., they could care less about it probably.
And then speaking of The Mandalorian Season 3, we'll wrap on this. Carl Weathers confirms Rick Famuyiwa will direct multiple episodes in The Mandalorian Season 3.
Some call me a teacher, others a terrorist.
For perspective, the past episodes that he has directed are Chapter 2, The Child, Chapter 6, The Prisoner, and Chapter 15, The Believer.
The Believer? He's a Justin Bieber fan? Yo, fun fact, their coffee, some of the coffee companies in Canada, they have a collab. So I was drinking Beeb's Crew the whole time I was there. So I don't know. I had to share that. Get off my chest. That's crazy, by the way.
And also, when I saw Nope, Dylan, they gave us our first teaser/trailer of Oppenheimer.
I forgot to send you this. So Christopher Nolan's the director of that movie, which I'm very excited for. And he uses practical effects. And there's a meme. It was like Christopher. It was like like one of those memes is like written out like kind of real, like in terms of how it's described. So like director Christopher Nolan opted to use a real nuclear device to film Oppenheimer. I was rolling, dude. It's so funny.
Oh, I'll also add this in here. George R.R. Martin says the style of the Game of Thrones animated shows will be similar to Love, Death, Robots on Netflix.
That's actually really cool. That I genuinely am excited for that and not as nervous because I trust if it's going that direction. But George, you might want to focus on writing your book, you old geezer.
Also, we brought this up on last week's episode when you weren't here because you were in up in old Canada, eh? I don't know if you saw, Criminal Minds is coming back, Dylan.
Did they kill off or write off one of the characters?
They a bunch of characters are gone. They replaced them later on in seasons, but Paramount Plus has ordered the new season, and it looks electric. The plot synopsis
in the Electric City.
I'll give you the plot synopsis here for it because it's one of those things where you and I were like, how many of these type of shows are going to come out? But I think for a show like this, it makes a ton of sense for them to do it. So, in the new series, in the new season, the FBI's elite team of criminal profilers come up against an unsub who has used the pandemic to build a network of other killers.
Ooh, real life.
And when the world opens back up, the network goes operational, and our team must hunt them down. Everybody from season 15 that was involved will be back except for Matthew Gray Gubler, which is sad. He's not coming back, but everybody else is coming back.
I wonder why he doesn't want to come back.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for all this stuff that's coming out because tons and tons of content. Plus, Dylan DJ told me on Paramount Plus might be one of the more underrated streaming platforms. Celebrity Deathmatch is all on Paramount Plus.
Oh, dude, I forgot all about that. Shit. Don't do that anymore. You get sued.
Right. They need to bring that back since it's a streaming platform. Also, Beavis and Butthead coming back on Paramount Plus as well with new episodes.
I love those guys. That laugh is something else.
Shut up,
dude.
Beavis.
Shut up, Beavis.
Shut up, Beavis. I'm Cornelio. I need TV for my bungle. Yeah, fire.
Such stoner humor.
Dylan, the next week-by-week show we have is She-Hulk, which is August 17th, and then we get Andor at the end of August. So next week, should we tap into another movie for the people?
Yeah. Maybe
I have a couple. The
We could put a
one
poll out, Kyle, and they could choose on the Twitter.
could put a poll out with some of these. One of them that I had on deck was the HBO Max Oscar Isaac movie, The Card Counter, simply because it's starring two of our favorite actors,
Oscar Isaac, obviously.
Oscar Isaac and Willem Dafoe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll watch that.
So that is on HBO Max. And we'll find some other movies to throw on the poll, but that'll definitely potentially be reviewed next week by us.
I already want to watch it.
I'm already down to watch it. I'm down to clown.
Well, I'm watching it right now.
Dylan's back, though, from Canada, which means more content is coming. So make sure you guys are following us on the socials at StreamerSZN on Twitter, on Instagram. Follow Dylan on Twitter at Dylan Mazzola. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Check out the website, undergroundsportsphiladelphia.com, for all our written content. Subscribe to the podcast feed. Apple Podcast, Spotify. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. And Dylan, in the Apple Podcast feeds, what should they be leaving?
They should be leaving recommendations on what you and I are to watch next, because right now, Kyle just said it, we have a lull. There's some time between our next show. If y'all get on those recommendations, we can possibly do a little mini-series. We can possibly talk about a movie, et cetera, et cetera. And also, I promise I won't be eating Italian next time. I just couldn't turn that up, people. I had to eat my food.
And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Hit that like button. Click the bell icon so you don't miss a single episode of your favorite Underground Sports Philadelphia shows and original content. And in the comment section, let us know how you felt about the Gray Man, Comic-Con, and leave your show and movie recommendations down below. Big thank you to our sponsors, Tomahawk Shades, Kenwood Beer, Pickup, and Bino. All of their information is linked in the show notes on audio and, of course, in the description on YouTube. Big thank you to Mobley for being our new theme music. Make sure you guys go download Stay Volk wherever you get your music and check out the music video on YouTube. But this has been another episode of StreamerSZN, the exclusive TV and movie podcast for streaming platforms on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. For old Canadian Dylan, I'm KB, and your Cowabunga boys are getting the heck out of here. Keep on streaming.